Uh, Hello, students. So this is our last review. This is a copy paste mistake. This should be 4. Okay, unit 4, similarity and parallel lines. So look at number 1. It says in the accompanying diagram, line A is parallel to line B. The line L is the transversal. So measure of A is 42. So this guy is 42 degrees. Now, what does Y equals? That means how much is this angle? So if we can find out this angle, we can easily say on a straight line, these two angles are supplementary. So we can subtract this value from 180 and get Y. So if you look at it, you can see this one is congruent to this one because they are corresponding. On the transversal same side, one outside, one inside, so they are corresponding angle. So if this one is 42 degree, this one has to be 42 degree. So Y and 42 together is 180 degree. So you can transfer that one, or you can say subtract 42 from both sides, so you get a 138 degree. So answer should be number 2. Okay, so once you go for number 2, that says triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR, which statement is not, look out for, is not always true. So A goes with P, so it's fine. So that's not the answer that we are demanding for, because it's not always true. B with R, but we see B with Q, so there might be some problem. So keep it like this, it might be our possible answer. Then C goes with R, so C is congruent to R, so that's fine. So we don't want that. B is with Q, you see B with Q, so that's also good. So it's obviously not good, not all is true. So we say the answer for number 2 is true. All right. And in number 3, you see in the diagram below, L, M, N, and P intersect line R. So here, this is a line R, which works like a transversal. Which statement is true? L is parallel to N. So if L and N is to be parallel, then whether this angle has to be congruent to this angle, or this angle has to be congruent to this angle, because if they are parallel, then they will be corresponding. All right, instead of placing this way, this is placed in this way. Okay, so if they're parallel, they have to be congruent. So now let's look for that. Is it congruent? If it is 122 degree, then this is 122 vertically opposite. So vertical angle 122 is 122 and 112 is not the same. So they are not congruent. So they are not parallel. And if you look for L and P, so let's see for P, this one is 68. You can calculate this one, or you can calculate this angle. So let me see if it is 112. So 68 and this is adjacent angle on a straight line. So they are linear pair or supplementary. So 180 minus 68 gives us 112. So exactly it matches. So we can say L and P is parallel. Since we got one answer, we are good. These two shouldn't be the answer. Number 4, it tells that ABC is similar to PQR. So if they're similar, what is the perimeter of triangle PQR? So ratio of these should be in proportion to the perimeter of them. Okay, so we say 20 over 6 should be equal to the perimeter of this. Perimeter is sum of all the sides, so 6 plus 8 plus 12. Okay, So for 20, this PQR, this is unknown. So let's say this X or perimeter, okay? And the perimeter of ABC is 6 plus 12 plus 8. So we get 20 over 6, that is X over 26. Now you can cross multiply, or you can think like this: 20 over 6 is 3.33, and this is X over 26. So 26 cross multiplied, so 3.33 multiplied with 26 is X. Once you multiply, you should be getting 86.66 and X. So if you estimate, that should be 86.7. Okay. Or you can do one thing, get the scale factor 20 over 6, 3.33, and multiply with this perimeter. Okay. So like this, 26. So you get 86.66, which is estimated to this. Okay. So in number 5, the data given. So ABC shown below, point D is on AB and E is on CB. AC is parallel. So this line is parallel. So obviously this angle is congruent to this angle, and this 90 degree and 90 degree congruent, this common angle. So there is a similarity between these two triangles, BDE and BAC. Okay, so let's label them. AB is 15. This whole thing is 15. BC is 12. So this whole thing is 12. Okay. And EC is 7. Okay. This EC is 7. Let me erase that one and write a little clearly. So EC is 7. So EC, I think here is our C. Yes, this is our C. So up to this is 7. So you can find out this side, which is BE. Let it be. So if we subtract 7 from 12, we get this portion, green portion. Okay, this green and pink makes 12. Okay, so now we need to find out BD. So we can see that BD is opposite this right angle. So that's BD. And this angle is congruent to this, so it's opposite this whole AB in this triangle, ABC. So we can say that's 15. And then we have this one 5, it be opposite of this angle. So we have that is 5. And this congruency is with A, its opposite is full BC. Okay, so that's 12. So now you can cross multiply with this one. You can keep it as BD, or you can make it X also, as up to you. Okay, so we say you can cross multiply this one. So BD is 5 over 12 multiplied with 15. So 75 over 12. Once you divide them, put it in your calculator, you should be getting 6.25. Okay. Or the other way of doing, if it doesn't look critical to you, you can cross multiply. So 12x or BD, let it be X, and then 15 multiplied with 5. So now you need to isolate X. So you divide by 12, divide by 12. So what you get is 12 cancels out. X is 75 over 12. And once you divide, you get 6.25. Okay. So your choice is this. In 6, given two similar triangles below, find the value of X. The diagram is not to scale. Okay. So that says, I mean, not this is not 32 and this X. That's what it means. It is not that important. So find out X. So we'll have to find out this. Now you see, you have seen that if a line parallel to a side and intersects other two sides proportionally. So what is the proportion? If this one is 1, this one is 1, because 25, 25, 40, 40, so it's in the midpoint. So that means it is making this whole thing in the halfway. So if this one is x, this one should be half of this. So x over 2 should be 32. So your x is 2 multiplied with 32. That's the rule. So you get 64. Or you can think it this way. It's like our traditional way. Since these two triangles are similar, the similarity exists between, obviously, between this triangle and this triangle. So 40, you can think 40 over this whole side, because opposite of this and this congruence is here. So opposite of 40 plus 40 is 80. And then or since our job is to get x, so we find congruency between this 32 over x. So you say 32 over x. So you can simplify it like 1 over 2, or you can, let me first do it in the simplified way. So cross multiplication x, and this guy goes here, 2 with 32, so x equals 64. This way you can think. Or if you find it simplification is critical, so you can keep it like this, 40 over 80 and 32 over x. So cross multiply, cross multiply. So 40x equals 32 into 80. Okay, so we need to isolate x, so divide by 40. So now 40 40 cancels out x. Once you divide them, you should be getting 64. Multiply 32 with 80 and get this one. Put it in a calculator, you get these values. So this is 64. And in number 7, which postulate or theorem can be used to prove the triangles congruent? You can easily see that there are only sides given. So that is going to be side side side, or is going to be not similar. So if there is a proportionality remains, then it will be side side side. Otherwise, it will be not similar. So let's see, smallest one with the smallest one. So 12.8 over 8, and then middle is 16. So the value is 10. So 16 over 10 and 24 over 15. Okay. So 24 over 15. Now put the values in your calculator. 21, 12.8 by 8 should give you 1.6. 16 divided by 10 should give you 1.6. So they're equal. And 24 over 15, again 1.6. If you calculate, you'll see that. So they are congruent. That means there is a proportion in these ratios. So we say, yes, there exists a similarity, and that is side, side, side similarity. And parallel line, angle 1 and 8, 1 is here, 8 is here. This is the transversal. So these two, 1 and 8, are opposite. And both of them are outside, so exterior. So they are congruent, and they are called alternate exterior angle. So number 1 is the one. In number 9, choose a congruency statements for the triangle shown. So we are sure this angle goes with this. So C goes with F. So C with F might be. C with F might be. C with E, no. C with F might be. Okay. And then now we see this congruency remains between this. Okay. So CB should be going with FE. So CB goes with FE, or CB goes with FE. So it remains also same. Okay. And CB goes with FD, it does not. Okay, so these two looks to be a possible answer, and then you are left with A with D. So A with D, A with D. It looks like both the answer is correct. It shouldn't be, but since somehow mistakenly probably it was given, I give that. So if you can hit one or two like this, you are fine. Now for this one, you can see again parallel lines, transversal. So these are alternate exterior and they're congruent. So you can say 7x plus 5 equals, from the theorem, you can say 33. Now you need to isolate x, so you'll subtract 5. This gone. So you have 7x, you have 28. So to isolate x, we divide both sides by 7. So you have x is 4. All right. Okay, so the next one again, parallel lines. This is the transversal. So in the same side, one inside, one outside. So they are corresponding angles and they are congruent. So we can say 8x minus 17 equals 5x plus 19. All right. So now all apples on one side, oranges on the other side. So let's get all x's in one side and these constants in other side. So once we shift this one, this sign changes to positive from negative. So from 8x, if we take away 5x, we have 3x. And this becomes 16, one remains, so 36. So once you divide them by 3, we get x and 12, okay? And once we go with 12, there is something mistake, PSQ, RSQ is not RSQ, it should be RQS, okay? So RQS. So PS with RQ, so PS with RQ, you can find out A first. So you say 8A minus 3 equals 29. As you need to get the value of A and plug in here to get PS. So we would like to get rid of this 3. So once we inverse value, I mean positive 3, so cancels out. 8A is 32. We divide by 8, divide by 8, you get A as 4, right? So now for PS, you plug in the value of A as 4 minus 3. So you get a 32 minus 3, it comes 29. So you say 29, okay? Though it looks like this, but it might not be always, okay? So however, you should do it in this way. In number 13, are triangle PRQ and triangle STU similar? If so, state the similarity theorem. You see their angles given, so let's get this angle. So from triangle sum theorem, we can say three of the angles are 180 degrees. So we subtract these two from this. So you get 180 minus 7 and 4, 11. 1 remains, and 6, 6, 12. So you get it 59. All right. So we can say this guy is 59. So this 59 goes with this 59. 57 goes with 59. So obviously this one 64, this one has to be 64. If you subtract, you will find this 64. So three of the angles are congruent. So obviously their similarity exists. So you say yes. And two angles are similar means you can say they are exist angle similarity. All right. Third one automatically becomes. So that's it. So if you work with all these four packets that I gave you as reviewer, you'll be fine. Okay. So watch the video, solve them, practice them. Should be good. Okay. So good luck on your midterm and thank you very much.